to see what the reaction of the people is going to be. And then they'll know when the big one comes, so to speak, 2 or 3 years down the line here, maybe in 6 months for all we know, what the reaction will be. And, of course, the shots that you have will be worthless against the next slew that they've created. One of the things that I married this possibility to is as you know, back in May I said that the U.S. embassies were receiving U.S. dollars to be traded for local currencies, and I backed into that, and that's verified. I've got several sources on that. And I said to myself, well, why would they do that? Well, it's because the dollar is going to go down, and they know it. And when it goes down, others, and especially commercial people in other countries, will not want to receive dollars. They want to be paid some other way, like in their own currency, perhaps. And the poor souls who are on vacation, they won't want to take their American Express or their credit or debit cards, or you won't be able to use perhaps an ATM card, and so on and so forth. So that's going to create a crisis. And I think the dollar will fall from 79.5, where it is right now, to the support level of 71.18. And during that period of time, you'll have this flu situation going. You'll have legislation which has been ground to a halt. And I think they're going to do a beta test of 3 to 5 days on shutting the banks down. There's a good possibility of that. And then the next time around, when they shut the banks down, they're not going to open them. And then they're going to have a devaluation, and they're going to have a default, and they're going to have a big powwow like they did in the early 70s in the Smithsonian talks, and then at 1985 at the Plaza Accords. And all of these countries will get together, and they will have formulas for devaluing those currencies against revaluing these currencies, and there will be a default agreement. That's what they're headed for here. And so that's why it's extremely important not to be long any currency if you can help it, and to be in gold and silver related assets, because they are going to either hold their own or go up in value.
It's like a bad dream, Bob. I mean, everybody I know is either losing their job or getting pay cuts. The economy's just falling apart everywhere. And they're not bringing the factories back. They're not bringing the jobs back. They are, by design, the White House economic science czar says in his own textbooks he wants to shut down the economy, and how to destroy the U.S. economy is described in here. And that's actually what is covered in the book, Eco-Science. I mean, that's what they're doing now. It's that they're so over-the-top criminal that we're almost defenseless against it, just because we can't even imagine they're this corrupt.
I've always said that it is very, very difficult for the average, decent human mind to even contemplate the diabolical criminality of these people. They just can't believe people can be that bad, just like you just said.
So sick. It's like a bad dream. It's a caller said a few days ago, and I've since been repeating as it's true. It's like being in a car with a maniac driving it at 150 miles an hour down a road, and you know over the next hill there's a hairpin turn, a 25-mile-an-hour turn, and you're telling them, look, lunatic, slow down. It's real. There's danger over that hill. And they just say, shut up, conspiracy theorists, and you're all strapped in, and they're driving like a maniac about to kill you. And that's how I felt talking to these FBI guys. It's just, I'd tell them about the New World Order, and it's all just funny. It's all a joke. It's all a game. No, it isn't a game. It isn't a joke. It's real.
It surely is.
What do you see Obama doing as his approval rating plunges?
Well, I predicted in January that in September, October, it'd be 40. And I guess Rasmussen has it at 45 right now, or something like that?
Yeah, it was, Rasmussen had it 49 last week, and now it's dropped to 40 in some demographics, but overall 47. and other polls have got him at 49, 48, 47. And these are groups that normally cook polls. So he is just, well, he's plunged faster than any president in modern history.
Yep. And his claim to great fortune is that he settled a dispute in Cambridge, Massachusetts, over somebody who'd been picked up by the police, and he said we can get this all sorted out by having a beer together.
And then the media is all, he had a Bud Light, the big corporate, kind of white trash beer. And I'm not saying Bud Light's, I mean, it really is bad beer in my opinion. But the point, Anheuser-Busch has got a few good products. But, the issue is it's all about the average guy beer, that he was drinking and the other guys. It's all just fluff crap.
Incidentally, Alex, do you know who Jackie Mason is?
Yes, to the moon without a rocket.
Well, he's one of my favorite comics. And he just did a piece on Obama, and I've got the link.
Oh, no. That was Jackie Gleason. Yeah, no, I know who Jackie Mason is. He goes on Fox News, sure.
Yeah, and anyway, he's just made a tape about Mr. Obama, our president. And you'll see it tomorrow in my issue, the link. And he really takes him apart. He says Mr. Obama is a racist.
Well, I don't even know if Mr. Obama's a racist. He is a race pimp. He's a social engineer. He knows how to play everybody off against each other.
Anyway, it's entertaining.
Well, let's just take calls. I'm speechless here. Maggie in Arizona. Maggie, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Oh, hello. It's such a privilege to talk to you, Alex, and to you too, Mr. Chapman. What I'm asking about is, Alex, I understand I missed part of the show yesterday, unfortunately, and I understand that there was an email and a caller regarding possible confirmation, seeing something from the feds in regards to a bank holiday, calling for the late August undetermined links. I'm wondering if you might...
No, she was, and we did get the document. And we've gotten other similar documents and documents with hospital workers being told they have to take shots. And then a day after the guy told us that and gave us the document, it was actually in the news. So this was a bank that is in New Orleans, and they were saying, we're going to have these injections for you.
As from another source, I heard they actually did get an email from someone who has a close friend in the banking industry, and she saw a notification stating that they would be closing undetermined links. The date will be determined late in August.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of banks themselves that are closing or being taken over, so there's a lot of those notices going out. But the establishment may have a bank holiday, but really they're just going to devalue the currency. But we have the expert on the line with us. Ma'am, I appreciate your call. Can you answer Maggie's question? We do know, and I did confirm this, the State Department has all its embassies moving mostly out of their cash reserves. They have millions per embassy in these vaults for different payoffs and different emergencies and other things, little CIA command bases. You remember that story a month ago or so about them dumping a lot of dollars and getting their local currency coming up for the fall. That more and more looks like for the flu, a global flu pandemic, in case they decide to go with that. Or is that something else, Bob Chapman?
Well, I just interpreted it just a little while ago as being, and I said I backed into it, being that the dollar was going to fall and not be accepted as readily as they might like, and it probably will cause a crisis. And in an embassy, let's say in Munich, which is one of the ones that received this money, they galloped out and got rid of the dollars and bought euros. And that's so that they would have a stash there in the local currency that would be accepted, that they could continue to do the things that they have to do. That's my take on it.
Yes, ma'am, I wouldn't put anything past them. They're clearly moving on all fronts to bring in the New World Order agenda. They're in high gear. And so we have Department of Defense driving around the parking lot and FBI visiting. And because the criminal takeover's happening and the banks are just totally raping the country. I mean, and Let me tell you, I am a canary in the coal mine. If they come grab me for something, folks, you better just squeeze your butt cheeks together because they're coming after you. I'm sorry. I'm out of control, folks. It's just that this is really going on. This is really happening. That's pretty funny, isn't it, Bob?
Yeah, it's not going to get better, and I think that's what you're trying to say. And so please prepare yourself mentally, physically. Get your food, your dehydrated, freeze-dried food into your filter, and make sure you get plenty of clips and ammo. It's probably going to come down to that, and I hate to have to say that, but there's no.
And they're like vampires. They look for any excuse to get you in their system, like you've done something. Oh, you had a hair sticking up. You had a crooked toenail. Life in prison.